Hello, I'm Brittany and I'm a nutritionist here at Nuvi Nutrition in Clarkston, Michigan. And I am here today to bring you our first April video to talk to you about cancer this month. So, there's a lot of cancers that are kind of the awareness month in April, and we're just going to kind of lump them together and talk about what cancer is, how do you decrease your risk for it, basically, what causes that reaction in the body and the cells to divide, and we're going to go over all that in all these videos for the month of April. So first video here though for today is talking about what is cancer. So boils down to every person watching this video either knows someone who has passed from cancer, is fighting cancer, or is a cancer survivor. It's that ubiquitous in our culture and our society, because there's a lot of things that put you on this roller coaster towards it, basically. So how do we get off? How do we take control of our own health and prevent? So what is cancer? Cancer is the medical term that we use to talk about an array of diseases that all start the same way. An abnormal cell went haywire and began growing and dividing uncontrollably. So as the cells grow and divide, they can form into a tumor. And this is what happens when cancer begins in tissue, for example, breast, colon, or lung. And blood cancers like leukemia, they don't form a tumor necessarily, but it can still invade other parts of the body, other cells, where those cells now pass on the genetic mutation to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and now you have all of these cells with a mutation where things have gone wrong. So, kind of talking about who gets cancer, that's a whole nother thing, because it can depend on your genetics. It can depend on your lifestyle. So sometimes we all have errors in our genetic makeup, but sometimes your body catches it and will kill off that mutated cell. Some people not so much, and part of that has to do with the genetic makeup of your body, giving you, higher risk factor for that. Other people, it's more environmental based. So that can be, anything that's not genetic. So obesity, or, weight, morbid obesity or weight gain, smoking, exposure to certain chemicals, all of that is environmental, not necessarily genetic. And all of that causes genetic damage that increases your cancer risk. So cancer is recognized worldwide as a major health problem affecting millions of people each year. More than 1 million people in just the U.S. alone get cancer every year. And as of 2009, a total of 562,340 deaths from cancer were projected to occur in the United States yearly. That is a lot of deaths. So the good news is that there are certain foods called cancer-fighting foods, and obviously, your lifestyle and habits play into this as well, but that can all combat cancer if you're doing things the right way. So cancer is a systemic disease with various causes, like I mentioned, some of which include poor diet, toxic exposure, nutrient deficiencies, and also genetics play into this. So, nutrition is a huge part of kind of combating this. So eating a nutrient-dense diet full of cancer-fighting foods and avoiding the things that are known to increase your cancer risk are obviously going to put you way ahead of the game in your prevention. The one problem is the standard American diet has a lot of processed foods, and most of those ingredients are cancer-causing. So until, the food manufacturers are forced to really clean up the ingredients that they use, it's really up to us to educate ourselves and to buy, the products that are going to fight cancer versus increase the risk. I always, on my grocery store tours, like to tell people how, kind of abundant this is in those processed and prepackaged foods, to the point where they're being told, yeah, you can have a little bit of that ingredient because you're not getting a whole heck of a lot of it in that one sitting. But if you're the type of person to eat the processed food all the time, you're constantly having that exposure. It increases your risk. So if you look at a box of Cheez-Its, and you turn over the ingredients label, there's an acronym for one of their ingredients, not even the name because it's too long, and it's TBHQ. And that is a known carcinogen. A carcinogen is something that is known to cause cancer. That is in Cheez-Its today. And we feed that to our kids, right? So it's really the awareness, knowing that the FDA doesn't necessarily have our back on foods. We have to be the ones to really control that. So one thing too that's going to come up in this next, series of the month is going to really be talking about the combination of conventional medicine with the therapy of nutrition and alternative therapies as well. So now you know kind of what cancer is and what, risks put you more, or what lifestyle habits put you more at risks, and what types of things are going to prevent. Okay, now we're going to talk in the next video about the foods and habits that increase your cancer risk. So make sure you stay tuned for the upcoming videos of the month for April. Thanks for tuning in.